So, Rita and James, we are being conned comprehensively by Labor here. First of all, it was net zero. Thank you, Scott Morrison. What a genius idea that was. But it's not just net zero, is it? It's not just carbon emissions. They're going to go after methane now, reduce methane by 30%. Nitrogen in the soil, that'll be the next. We've seen how that's worked out well for the Dutch and German farmers.
Yes.
Rita, when is the Australian public going to wake up to the fact that Labor intend to implement the entire Great Reset notion of destroying our farming land, destroying our private farmers, destroying all this stuff in the name of saving the planet?
Well, I think they'll come to realise that the moment we have a real opposition in this country that fights these policies and provides a point of difference, instead of signing up to net zero and essentially signing up to Labor's policies just in a slower, less bold fashion. So that's what we need. We need real choice at the ballot box. We need real debate, which we're really not getting. And this methane target or ambition, because it's not going to be, they say it's not going to be...
Yeah, it never is. It never is. Oh, it's a target. Yeah, right. Like Kyoto, like the Paris Agreement, like net zero. They're targets, James, until they're not targets, until they're destroying your actual life, your prosperity and your future.
Well, we've got evidence that that's happening. We saw this week that the heads of major power companies were essentially saying, we don't have a plan B here, and we are going to be in a lot of trouble if we keep going down this road because, of course, you know, the whole net zero push has gone faster and got more out of the government's control than they expected. So now you have suddenly, because of the economics of it and the incentives, you've got big power companies now shutting down their coal-fired assets sooner than they expected them to happen. And so, therefore, there's not going to be enough of this other stuff coming online in the meantime. That means higher prices. That means blackouts. It also means, and we're already seeing this in Victoria, governments will now be paying coal-fired power operators, I am sure this will happen, to stay in business. So that's going to be billions of dollars of tax money going to this.
Well,
so it's all a furphy.
The market's completely corrupted by the billions
Market's
going into renewables, by all the taxes and disincentives that are put in front of oil, gas. And this new target for methane, it's not just going to impact farming, it's going to impact gas exploration. And that's precisely what we need. We're sitting on hundreds of years of supply.
It is capitalism in reverse. And the big lie, and we heard it here on Sky during the week from various commentators, oh, this is the market dictating that people are shutting down.
No.
This is capitalism in reverse, whereby governments de-incentivise rather than incentivise projects, and therefore the market is being rigged and fixed in favour of renewables to satisfy the greed, and there's no other word for it, of the renewables investors who sit around in their harbourside mansions and elsewhere, plotting how to boost up their share portfolios at the same time as disenfranchising all the mums and dads who put their money into the safer things like coal and so on. It is a rigged, it is not the market, it is the opposite of the market.
Of course it's not the market. I mean, the market would not transfer to renewables when there is actually no baseload energy. I mean, we still are talking about, in this country, about some unknown technology, some unknown saviour that's going to come along and provide what gas and coal has provided so far, because we're not doing nuclear in this country, so we're not like Sweden and France and a bunch of other countries where they've got that option, they've got some reliance on another source of energy. We are just hoping some genius somewhere comes up with something that's going to plug in and this is pure madness, and it happens when you have governments making policies that are going to have devastating impacts maybe in 10 years, in 6 years, but they've got a 3-year term, so it becomes someone else's problem.
Hang on, wait, did you say some sort of genius idea where you could plug something in and you'd get the power and there'd be no carbon from it? Oh, God, if only there was something like, it smells like, it sounds like a nuclear, is that it?
Yeah. When even Greta Thunberg has woken up to nuclear, you know, come on, Greta's smarter than the rest of you. But of course, every time you raise these issues, people go, oh, no, but it's raining. It must be global warming, climate change. So we've seen in Victoria floods. I hope the people down there are all safe. And I trust that people are doing what they need to do to look after their property.